So, Mick Schumacher still in the news and apparently still keeping his F1 dream alive, which I'm not so sure I agree with personally. I don't really see him making a Formula 1 comeback personally, but let's have a look at what's been said here, guys. Full article on the F1Chronicle.com as always. Mick Schumacher insists that his dream of returning to Formula 1 remains alive, even if he's relieved that he won't be on the full-time reserve driver duties in 2025. The 25-year-old son of F1 legend Michael Schumacher has been replaced as Mercedes reserve driver by the much more experienced Valtteri Bottas for this year, but Mick says that he doesn't mind. It was obviously a very tough year, said the German. We had quite a lot of back-to-back weekends where we went from one race to the next. Even though you could say that the reserve driver doesn't do that much, they are still losing days. Long days, I should say. I was pretty tired by the end of the year. Schumacher will focus 100% on racing for Alpine in the World Endurance Championship this year. It's more relaxed in that sense, he said. I can simply take the time to drive in the simulator and support Alpine more in the development of the car. The former Haas driver insists, however, that he is not totally giving up on his F1 dream. My dream is my dream and it lives on when I have to think about it, said Schumacher. But when I'm in the car in the whole WEC environment, my thoughts are 100%. I mean, look, I like Mick. I do. I really do. Seems like a nice guy. And I like the fact that the Schumacher name came back to Formula 1 for a bit. But unfortunately, he just wasn't that great. Not by F1 standards. And listen, I don't want to insult the guy. I've spoken about him quite a bit, obviously, on this channel. But he's just not good enough. Formula 1 is the highest standard of racing in the world in terms of motorsport. There is no parallel. It's the pinnacle of motorsport. To make it to Formula 1, to earn yourself an FIA super license, to win the Formula 2 World Championship like he did, takes a tremendous amount of talent. But unfortunately, he was kind of quick. I'd say kind of quick. Not slow by any means, but consistency-wise, it wasn't there. And unfortunately, he made too many crashes. He cost Haas a lot in repair damages. In a cost cap era for the poorest team on the Formula 1 grid, that just didn't fly. And unfortunately, because of that, he's not exactly endeared himself to others as a great racing driver. He's clearly a decent testing driver. He went to Mercedes, didn't hear any bad things about him really when it came to that. So, but the fact he's been replaced by Bottas kind of tells you that if Mercedes were to need to, you know, if George Russell, Kimi Antonelli this year were struggling to get onto the grid for whatever reason, they couldn't make a race, they clearly have more faith in Bottas than Mick Schumacher. Again, Bottas is someone who's pretty underrated in my opinion, so I understand why they'd much prefer him to Schumacher, but the fact that he's been replaced by Bottas in that way kind of tells you where he's at. So I wish him all the best. I think he'll do very well in the World Endurance Championship. Alpine, I'm not overly confident in them doing well. They haven't done amazingly in the World Endurance Championship. Unreliability in the car. I know, shock. A Renault engine struggling in a motorsport. Who would have guessed? But for him at least, you know, he's going to get to focus on it 100% because he's right. 24 race weekends a year. A lot of them back to back. Traveling around the world. It's tiring. It's tiring, even though it's like, oh, you just stand around in the garage and look like you're interested. No, they're doing simulator work. They're traveling with a team. They're working with other drivers, other engineers. It's a full-time job. It's only those race weekends in WEC when he's released, quote unquote, to go and race there, that, you know, he's kind of got a weekend that's different. But obviously he's racing in like an endurance race, which in itself is draining. So having like 8-10 races a year in WEC, I think will be a lot easier for him. And hey, it might even suit him more. By the sounds of things, he sounds like he was very tired, so I understand it. But guys, what do you think about Mick Schumacher? Is there any hope of him coming back to Formula 1 as a race driver? I doubt it personally. I don't really see it personally, but I want to hear your thoughts in the comments on this as always, guys. Let us know your thoughts there. And if you want to see more content like this on the world of Formula 1, keep it tuned here to the F1Chronicle.com. Like, share, comment, subscribe as always. And if you want to support the channel some more, head over to Patreon, become a patron and get some exclusive member benefits. Have a great one, guys. See you later.